afternoon, El Dorado. Welcome back to our last Lunchtime live episode of April. We are continuing to celebrate School Library Month. We are continuing to finish up our readathon activities, which are due at the end of this week. So be sure to turn your papers into your teacher, and then your teacher will give them to me to process and then start drawing prizes. So I really hope you've been enjoying those activities and are having fun reading in different ways with different people in different places, different types of books. So today we are going to read one last kind of book-themed, library-themed-ish story. And then next month, when we get into May, we are going to read some books all around thinking creatively and making things and building things, and kind of what that process feels like to try to design something and maybe it doesn't go as you planned, and how you can adjust and keep working on your ideas as part of our Maker May theme. But today we are going to have fun reading sort of a silly, quick book called There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed Some Books. This is a kind of quick rhyming story, but I really like it. It's really fun. Those of you who are familiar with, like, There Was an Old Lady Who Lived in a Shoe and that sort of thing will be familiar with this type of book. This is written by Lucille Colandro, and it's illustrated by Jared Lee. And I hope you enjoy it. And today I'm going to try holding up the book in front of the camera instead of using a different camera for the book. I hope that's okay. So here is There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed Some Books. There was an old lady who swallowed some books. I don't know why she swallowed these books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a pen. She was happy again when she swallowed that pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. I don't know why she wanted to write in the books either. There was an old lady who swallowed a pencil case. Without leaving a trace, she swallowed that pencil case. Yum. She swallowed the pencil case to hold the pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a ruler. She couldn't look cooler swallowing that ruler. She swallowed the ruler to measure the pencil case. She swallowed the pencil case to hold the pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a folder. She didn't feel any older when she swallowed the folder. She swallowed the folder to protect the ruler. She swallowed the ruler to measure the pencil case. She swallowed the pencil case to hold the pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed some chalk. She didn't bark when she swallowed that chalk. She swallowed the chalk to decorate the folder. She swallowed the folder to protect the ruler. She swallowed the ruler to measure the pencil case. She swallowed the pencil case to hold the pen. She swallowed the pen to write in the books. I don't know why she swallowed the books, but she didn't get any looks. There was an old lady who swallowed a bag. She didn't brag when she swallowed the bag. The old lady didn't fuss when around the corner came a big yellow school bus. She started a cheer that she could not hold back, and out popped her brand new backpack. Have a great school year. This would be a good book to read at the beginning of the school year, but I thought it was a fun one to read today. I hope you enjoyed it. And you know what, friends? Since it's our last school library month reading, I thought we would do one more book today since that was a quick one. This is a book called The Library Dragon, and this is all about an elementary school who was needing a librarian to protect and guard all the books. Let's find out who they found. This is written by the author Carmen Agra Didi, and it was illustrated by the artist Michael P. White. I'm going to sit back a little bit more for this one. Here we see an advertisement in the newspaper. It says, "Wanted Children's Librarian." Sunrise Elementary School seeks a thick-skinned professional to help reduce inventory damage and loss. Our library is in distress. If you possess a jealous love of books and a burning love of children, Sunrise Elementary wants you. Sunrise Elementary School had a big problem. The new librarian, Miss Lotta Scales, was a real dragon. Miss Lotta Scales was hired to guard the library, and she took her job seriously. Hundreds of new, clean books replaced the old, smudged ones. These shining gems neatly lined the shelves of her library lair in perfect order. No 398.2s in the 500s, and absolutely no fiction among the biographies. There's Miss Lotta Scales. She kept a fiery eye out to make sure no one removed any books from the shelves. Her motto was, a place for everything. A place for everything, and that's where it stays. The very thought of sticky little fingers touching and clutching, pawing and clawing, smearing and tearing her precious books just made her hot under the collar. That doesn't sound like a very welcoming library, huh? Miss Scales thought that the way some books spread an unfounded fear of dragons was positively inflammatory. Books that depict cruelty to dragons should never have been published in the first place. She got so fired up about this, she didn't just discard the books she didn't like, she incinerated them. That means lit them on fire. The kids watched in awe. "Well, that settles it," whispered Albert Hoops. "Where there's smoke, there's fire, and that Miss Scales is a real dragon, all right." Not surprisingly, the kids at Sunrise Elementary School began to dread Library Day. It wasn't long before the teachers stopped sending the children to the library. They kept coming back singed. Friends, I hope you never, ever, ever feel like you do not want to come to our school library. First, the principal tried to reason with Miss Scales, but his plan backfired. Instead of cooling her down, he just fanned the flames. "And finally, don't forget who does the hiring, Miss Scales," sputtered the principal. "Oh, really? And who does the firing?" asked Miss Scales with a glare and a flare that caught his tie on fire. "Now cut that out," said the principal as he waved the smoke out of his face. "No smoking in the library, Miss Latticales said dryly. The principal fumed. The teachers were incensed. Worst of all, the children had missed reading and story time for weeks, and their grades were going up in smoke. So the teachers formed a delegation, and after a trip to the cafeteria kitchen to fortify themselves, they paid a visit to Miss Scales. Miss Latticales smoldered as she listened to sweet Miss Lennon, the kindergarten teacher. And most importantly, Miss Scales, dear, the children miss story time. Story time, schmory time, blew Miss Latticales. Why, if I let the children touch these books with their gooey fingers and snotty noses, the library wouldn't last a week. And she stared so furiously at the teachers that they threw down their weapons and clanged out. All except sweet Miss Lemon. You know, Miss Scales, we all love the books as much as you do, but the library belongs to the children. Good night, Miss Lemon. You slay me, cried Miss Scales. Why, the idea of story time is simply medieval. Here we see a sign for an emergency PTA meeting. The topic is dragons, now, the myth, the mystery. As usual, the dragon had the last word. That is not a very nice librarian. That Miss Lemon is a real spitfire, chuckled Miss Scales. But she had spewed so much smoke and fire at sweet Miss Lemon that she had to lie down for a nap. She was really dragon. In fact, she was burned out. Being a library dragon can be such a lonely job, she mumbled sadly to herself as she heaved a mighty sigh and closed her scaly lids. It was at that very moment that Molly Brickmeyer accidentally wandered into the library. Molly was on a quest. She had lost her glasses and couldn't see a thing without them unless it was right under her nose. She stumbled into a bookshelf and a book fell onto her lap. She never saw the sign that read, "Do not touch the books, for display only." It was over her head. So she held this one right under her nose and began to read out loud. First, a class of second graders in line for the water fountain heard her and tiptoed in to listen. Then the fourth graders, outside playing kickball, heard a story being read and crowded around the windows. "Speak up," someone said. Molly Brickmeyer spoke up. Word of story time in the library spread like wildfire at Sunrise Elementary School. Everyone was listening, even the library dragon, and her ears were burning. How do you think that library dragon's feeling right now? Molly went ahead and touched the book when she was not supposed to. Slowly, Miss Latticales rose up from behind a bookshelf and looked at the boys and girls huddled around Molly. She had never seen anything quite like it. The children looked like they belonged here. "I love you, Snuff," Molly read on as all the children listened. "Give me that book, Miss Molly Brickmeyer," roared Miss Scales. Molly held the book cheerfully toward the scaly blur. Miss Latticales took the book and eyed it suspiciously as it hung from her claw. First, she sniffed it. Then she checked the spine for cracks. Then she checked each page for stains and smudges. Finally, Miss Scales looked around at the children and cleared the smoke from her throat. "Now, where were we? Why, yes, I love you, Snuff." At first, the children were too nervous to listen. But when Molly Brickmeyer climbed up onto Miss Latticales' lap and didn't get scorched, they relaxed. "You're warm," whispered Molly. "Don't interrupt," Miss Scales crackled. Everyone was listening so intently that they almost missed it. As she read, Miss Latticales' scales began to fall on the linoleum floor with a clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Clickety-clack, until All that was left was Miss Lottie, librarian and storyteller, sitting on a mountain of yellow, green, and purple scales with Molly Brickmeyer, dragon slayer extraordinaire, on her lap. The rest of the children warmed up to Miss Lottie right away. So it turns out Miss Lottie Scales wasn't actually a dragon, right? Inside, she was a kind librarian who just needed to kind of find herself again. The changes in Miss Lottie's new kid-friendly library were hard to miss. Not surprisingly, the kids at Sunrise Elementary School began to love Library Day. Miss Lottie's transformation, however, was not complete. But then, every librarian needs to be a little bit of a dragon, or else, who would guard the books? The end. I hope you enjoyed that story. I think it was a really cute way of kind of showing that the librarian was meaning well, but she got a little carried away with protecting the books and prevented the kids from even accessing or reading them, which would be a huge, huge bummer. So friends, next time you come down to the library, I hope you feel so welcome here. I hope you explore the books and enjoy them. And I hope you love the library as much as I do. So happy School Library Month. And I will see you next Monday for our first Maker May story time. I will see you then. Have a good one.